Hello, welcome back. I am here with my family from the Caring Place, and we're going to continue our conversation. Hey, Corinne, I was just thinking as we were talking about
Hmm.
everything, um, and you kept saying this is a community effort.
Yes. Hmm.
And I really do understand our role in all of this,
Hmm.
but I would love for you to explain what our role will be, and then what and how the community can join us at the table,
Yes. Hmm.
and so that we can, in other words, break bread together
Yes.
with our friends and impact this community in such a way that
Hmm.
it's never been impacted. So,
Well, and I think that the possibilities are endless in this because it really is. It's called Bridges Out of Poverty for a reason because it is about bridging under-resourced with resourced individuals as far as the concept.
yeah.
And as we walk with them, an air portion of that stepping stones, there's going to be things that they come up against, obstacles that they have in their path. And so if we look at, there's 11 different resources we're trying to help individuals to build, to both either bring those to the table so that they can then take those from that, or we develop those within those individuals.
Yes.
And part of the curriculum is that they investigate that. So the individuals will come up with those resources that are needed on their own. But things that we would need, again, possibilities are endless. So if someone listening today kind of thinks, well, this is something that we do, I wonder if that's helpful, give us a call, let me know, because it will be. I mean, that's just the bottom line. It
Yes.
will be, because there's no way to predict all the things that might be needed by individuals that go through this. But you think about building as far as, relationships, support systems, mentorships, being able to, again, walk alongside. We would call those partners allies. They're an
Yes,
ally
I
of
love
those that
that.
we're working with. That they want to be able to cheer them on, encourage them, not necessarily say, oh, no, I know a better way, but to say, I'm here with you. What do you need? Oh, you know what? Here's a number. Here's a name. Let me connect you with them. So that way they're helping them connect to those things that they might be needing. So those allies are very, very important. We need emotional health, mental health, so we need
Yes.
mental health providers. We need that service delivery system to be smooth for those who are going through. We need tangible things like child care help. A lot of times, that's a struggle for some of the parents that are trying to move beyond, and child care is such a limitation for them. So we need people around the table who says, you know what, I know some child care resources, or I can make some child care resources happen. A lot of times it's a matter of not necessarily that you might be delivering the service, but you might have resources to make the service delivery happen.
Come
So
on.
that's what we want to get around the table. So,
Okay.
and again, common table. So we want to be able to, you come to the table, let's hear what you can bring. Those who we're serving, they're going to come to the table. They're going to share both what they can bring, what they need, same with you, and then we're going to work on those solutions together. So, so really, as far as the community goes, again, I know I've said it a couple of times, but the possibilities are endless. Whatever you have, bring it to the table and let's share together. Let's see what we can do to make this bridge as strong as possible for those who are going through this program.
And I would like to just encourage our churches as well,
Absolutely.
because so many of them have talked to me.
Yes.
I go out and speak to churches, and they say to me, "How can we get involved?" And this is and it may
Yeah.
require some training,
Yes.
but that's okay.
Right.
You know, and because I know a lot of us are doing duplicated services.
Yeah.
They want to they do the food, they do the clothing, and maybe if you've got a group of people who want to volunteer and become a mentor, there's training for that.
Absolutely, yes.
Amen.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
And
So
so I just
anybody
want
who comes to the table, we're going to have training for them to
That's
come
right.
to the table. So,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So I just really want to encourage people to think wholeheartedly about
Yes.
that. And for those people, individuals who are having a pull on their heart that there's something that God wants them to do, this may be the very
Yes,
thing.
absolutely, yeah.
So-
And give us I'd love to talk to anybody who would be interested in that. So be happy to set some time, go out and grab lunch or whatever, and just talk and see what we can do to partner. So,
All right. All right.
yeah.
All right, Dr. Howard. Like I said, I am inspired. Your leadership has inspired us, and we have stepped out here in everything that we are doing. But how can the community come alongside the Caring Place? And I'm probably talking a little bit more concrete financially, so that we can continue to grow and continue to increase our reach. As you well know, we got 1,000 unduplicated people coming in, but we also know that there's, I think our total every year is close to 4,000 or 5,000 people, but there's 25,000
Yes.
people who are living in the poverty guidelines. And so how can we increase that reach? And so I'm going to toss that ball to you.
All right. And as you talk about leadership, I was with Corinne yesterday talking about our wonderful staff, and we have a great lead team at the Caring Place. And of course, one of those is the host of this program here, and Tony Miles, being our organizational advancement director, is awesome and doing a great work. We have a director of operations who is
Dennis.
wonderful.
Yes, he
in
is.
our offices. And then, of course, Corinne coming in with our social work
Yes.
director is wonderful. So we have great leadership at the Caring Place. And I think that should give folks trust and a sense of credibility for the Caring Place. If you are considering the Caring Place for donations of any kind. Of course, as we step forward in social work, as you've heard in this program, it's a step of faith for us. We didn't exactly have the budget for that. So if any of this has touched anyone's heart and they would be interested, we are certainly here needing anyone's support joining. We have great network of support, though. And we cheer
Yes,
on this
we
community
do.
because this is a marvelous giving community, a marvelous supporting community here in Cleveland. So we have churches, individuals, amazing families, individuals make up the lion's share of our support. We thank God for the foundations that are here in our community. We thank God for the business partnerships that we have, and we can't hardly say any one because you'll miss the many, the dozens that are supporting us.
Yes.
Yet in the midst of that, we need
still
more.
need.
We have a great need. As a matter of fact, we're really shooting for a huge budget this year. And so we just invite you, if you are listening and hearing some of the services of the Caring Place and you're realizing what a need it is in our community. Maybe for the first time you're realizing, wow, I believe this poverty issue in our community is a little larger than I ever thought it was.
Yes.
Then you may want to get involved and you may want to be a supporter. And listen, we love the $25 supporters. We love any level of support because as you give your support, we know that where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And it's drawing your heart into the calling, the serving, ministry that we believe we are doing. Now, we are having an event coming in April, and I feel a little strange
April 27th.
even talking about it because this is Tony's brainchild that she brought to the Caring Place last year. But it's a remarkable vision. If you haven't heard about Let Us Break Bread Together, other than just here today, I'm going to share just what it means, and if Tony wants to jump in on it, that'll be fine. We had it last year, and it was phenomenal. It was really earth-shaking for some of our board members and to hear their responses and how they were touched. What it is, we give and I don't mind to say, a lavish banquet. And we invite our friends. Now this is a fundraiser, and it sounds like we're flipping the coin, and in some ways we are, because we're inviting our friend clients that come to the Caring Place all the time. Out of this 1,000 families, we try to get as many of them as we can to come. We want to give them a lavish banquet. Last year we had prime rib that was this big. It filled the whole plate where it was, and when our people would see it, it was their eyes would just get huge. Not to mention all the other extravagant things that we had there last year, and Tony is planning again for this year at the Museum Center. As we do this, if you think, wow, what an idea, you know, it comes right out of the Bible in the Gospel of Luke, where they talk about giving a banquet and going out in the hedges and the highways, going out in the community, and just invite the whosoever that would come. And that's the concept that we are wanting to do. If you'd like to get behind that and maybe send in donations to say that is an awesome and unique event, and I'd just like to give $100 for it or $1,000 for it, whatever you would feel, That would be awesome for the Let Us Break Bread event that's going on. Tony, you want to add anything to the Let Us Break
Yeah,
Bread?
I just want to say the concept is such that they may be thinking, well, how is that a fundraiser? Who pays for that food? All that is donated. And the whole thing behind it is then your donation, if you give $100, if you give $5,000, it is fully tax deductible because you're not receiving goods.
Yeah.
But you can come if you would like to as a volunteer and serve as a host or hostess. And so that's where we get Let Us Break Bread Together.
Can I share about what happened last year, Tony?
Yes.
Last year, as we served, and all of us were serving, we were carrying food from the kitchen, and we were bringing it to all of our guests, our friends, clients at the Caring Place. And then we got the chance to sit down at the table with them. It was so wonderful. Talk about relationship building.
Yes.
And talk about all that we have said, that sometimes we haven't had time to build relationship, giving a bag of groceries or giving clothing. This was our moment. We had 30, 45 minutes that we sat down with those families. I'll never forget, I sat down with a Hispanic family. I try to speak a little Spanish, and we met at that table as having never seen one another before. We left that table as friends. It was remarkable, the chemistry that was generated. And one of our board members sat at a table with his wife, and they wrote a letter back to the board saying how it was touching. How at that table, the friends had invited them to a neighborhood meeting that they were going to have in about a month.
Yes.
So friendships, chemistry generated. It was explosive and just marvelous.
Yes. And last year we reached, the community was so generous, we reached $105,000, $100,005, you know what I'm saying, goal. We had a $100,000 goal, and we went over by $5,000.
Yes.
This year we increased the goal because of the Stepping Stones Pathway Out of Poverty. So the goal this year is $120,000. And so I can tell you the community got behind it last year, and we are believing that you will continue to do the same this year. But I want to quickly get in not only that's going on. Yes, sir.
Remind,
you got a quick
remind
question?
everybody the dates of this event.
Oh, yes. That event is April 27th. It's on a Thursday night from 6 to 8. You can contact me at the Caring Place if you'd like to donate and or like to serve, or both. We are encouraging you to do that. And you can call us at 423. You have it up on the screen.
Go ahead and say 423.
472-4414, extension 3. That's me. And so, and we're really excited about that. And but we would love to receive the donations before April 27th, so we can really celebrate.
Absolutely.
And Dr. Howard, you had mentioned we've been talking about space and all that, and I just think this is another good opportunity to tell the community our needs for space.
Absolutely. The Caring Place has been serving here in Cleveland for 16 years. It has been remarkable, and I just always love to throw a commendation to Reba Terry, and who has been our director for 12 of those years, and has really marched year by year by year, step by step, new advance to bring the Caring Place to where it is today. It is a remarkable serving organization, but we're out of space, and we've been out of space really for several years. Our clothing distribution, you should see it sometimes. All of you wonderful, generous people in Cleveland bringing your clothes in. And sometimes we have clothing that's stacked almost to the ceiling in the receiving room, and we just don't have space. And then food distribution, that we almost don't have space for that forklift to turn around in the place where they lift the pallets up and place them in the storage racks. We are just desperately in need of space, and the services are growing, and now we're expanding in social work, and that will require meeting
Training rooms.
spaces, training places, more people coming that will be spending time at the Caring Place rather than simply flowing through our process. And so we are in the process right now. With our board and with our properties committee, we are looking for space within our target area, the people that we serve, and being accessible to them. We are looking for space. Of course, what that means is that we will need capital outlay, that we will need to buy property, that we will need to renovate building, that we will need to do what is necessary to turn whatever properties we may find into a marvelous serving center on a high caliber so it can be effective, efficient, and serve this community to the best of our abilities. Because that has always been an underlying philosophy of the Caring Place, excellence as we meet needs with love. And so we are taking this step. I'm hoping that within the next 9 months, we will find location, be able to purchase location, be able to renovate. We may not get the renovation done in the next 9 months, but I'm believing that we will be moving into new space. We need it so desperately
Yes.
at the Caring Place. We are expanding. This leadership team is visionary. We don't have time today to talk about the visions that they have to want to serve Cleveland, collaborate with other serving agencies all over our community. They know us, we relate with them, we refer people to them. I know that's one of the main themes of Corinne and her social work. So we are a part of the serving network of Cleveland, but we've grown and we've just got to expand our space. So it's exciting, but we need your help. We need your partnership. We need you to join us and come alongside us if you possibly can. And as you're listening today, let the Lord just kind of nudge you, say, that's a good work. It's in an area that you haven't been able to touch possibly in your own life and your circle of influence. And maybe you could reach out and join as a partner with the Caring Place. And we would love to have you, regardless the size of your donation. We would love to have you as a partner with us. Thank you, Tony, for the opportunity to share that.
Well, you know what? Thank you, Corinne. Thank you, Randy, for being here today. And on that note, there's nothing else that I can add, believe it or not. But other than thank you for coming and sharing this with the community, to the community, thank you for your service. Thank you for giving to us. And on that note, from us here at WTBN TV.
TND.
What did I say?
TBN, that's true.
Oh, I do have them on my brain,
Yeah.
don't I? I'm sorry.
One there next for your other show, right?
Yeah. Good morning, show. Look at Bryce laughing. We gotta go, y'all. Bye-bye.